Researchers at the Natural History Museum have been preparing the carcass for weeks, but they had to call in the Coast Guard to help move the animal's skull off the rocks. The Jayhawk helicopter made several passes before hovering and then lifting the 300-pound mass of bone. Officer Marvin Gates called the operation unusual but routine.
We do a lot of sling load operations or external loads. Typically, we do a lot of training down at Imperial Beach. So this is a great opportunity for us to actually come and do some training with a real-time load that's in an area that we don't typically do the training.
Humpback whales can weigh 30 to 50 tons, and they can get to be 50 feet long. This animal had been decomposing for weeks, and it was finally time to lift the bones up the cliff. Scott Tremor is a mammologist at the San Diego Natural History Museum. He says the bones are heavy and bulky.
The next step from here is after we get it in our vehicles, we're going to move it to a site back in the mountains where we're going to bury it. And that's where the domestic beetles, the naturally occurring domestic beetles, will end up eating that flesh, that decaying flesh.
Once the beetles are done, Tremor says it'll get a soak in a bacteria-rich bath. That should clean the bones enough for researchers to begin examining the skeleton. Tremor says it's also possible the bones will end up on display at the Natural History Museum.